Hello everyone, it's JT Plays and welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be covering the zombie story so far in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So what has happened from the very first map we got, the Machina, all the way up to the map that's releasing this week, Toten. So all of this information is just taken from the recent Treyarch blog post where they discuss the zombie story so far. So they start with saying Toten will see Requiem at its most desperate in the war to stop Omega Group, having been captured and tortured at the hands of its leader, Kravchenko. How did it all go so wrong? How did Omega get so far ahead in the Ethereum arms race? Let's go back to the beginning, to the point just before our Requiem agents first touch boots on the ground, and revisit the full offering of zombies experiences available right now. This is Black Ops Cold War Zombies, the full story so far. So starting with the Machina, which was the first map we got with the game. This takes place in Morasko, Poland on November the 13th, 1983. So here, Treyarch have said, in the evening downpour in East Berlin, Agent Samantha Maxis calls the Situation Room direct to Weaver, Field Ops Director for the CIA's Requiem Research Group. So this is the scene that we see right at the very beginning. It's the intro scene for the Machina. Samantha says, "Did you get the package?" Weaver responds with, "We've lost 2 teams since you went dark. Old war footage is the last thing on my mind right now." Samantha responds with, "Watch it. Watch the tape. Then tell me I'm wrong." The footage that she's talking about shows Soviet soldiers uncovering Project End Station, which is an abandoned Nazi research facility in Morasko, Poland. Unaware of the dangers ahead, they enter the facility and fall victim to the undead within. They tried to cover it up, but it didn't work. So immediately after seeing this footage, Weaver sends his best Requiem agents to Project End Station, and with the assistance of Requiem's Dr. Gray, Dr. Strauss, and Major Carver, they discover the source of the undead invasion, a particle accelerator experiment gone horribly wrong, creating a dimensional rift to the Dark Ether. Why was this rift important? Requiem's rivals on the other side of the Cold War, the Omega Group, are using the Dark Ether to harvest an incredibly valuable resource, Ethereum, more powerful yet unstable than any other substance in the world, with catalyzing effects on plutonium and other nuclear elements. Ethereum is Omega's key to helping their side win the Cold War before the civilian world has time to save themselves. By entering the Dark Ether itself, Requiem's agents find a way to close the rift while uncovering more of the facility's past, including intel on the key players and motivations behind the original experiment. But in doing so, they trigger the self-destruction of the entire facility, a small price to say, knowing that the horrors within the Dark Ether could no longer invade this dimension no further, at least until Samantha Maxis sets out to meet a contact in Vietnam. So this is discussing the Easter egg that we do in Die Machina, that we end up blowing up the facility and flying away. So next up we've got Firebase Z, which takes place in, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but a valley in Vietnam, on June the 15th, 1984. So, got in quotes here something that Ravenov says. So, Omega must be stopped, no matter the personal cost to people like you and I. So, at the start of Firebase Z, the CIA Requiem strike team deploys to Outpost 25 in Vietnam, where they enlist the help of disaffected Omega Group affiliate Captain Ravenov. Their goal? Rescue Samantha Maxis from Omega's clutches. Prior to the agent's arrival, Samantha attempted to infiltrate the Omega research facility, Outpost 25, to meet Ravenov, an inside agent who knew of Omega's plans. En route, she was discovered by Omega's lead scientist, Dr. William Peck. After being interrogated and tortured, Maxis was thrown into the Dark Ether by Peck, disposed of so that he could continue his research on Dark Ether-based technologies and weaponry. Got in quotes here, you look ready, Ravenov says to the team as they arrive. Perhaps you will not die today. Upon arrival, Peck makes a deal with Requiem's agents. restore power to the outpost, and he'll set Maxis free. Of course, the crafty scientist knew what restoring the power would accomplish for Omega Group's gains, but in the end, Requiem found a way to pull Maxis back from the Dark Ether just in time to fight their greatest threat yet. So this is, of course, leading from referring to the Easter egg that we do in Firebase Z, where we save Maxis and we escape and we fight the Order at the very end. So next up we have Outbreak, the mode that most people have probably been playing for quite a while now. This is kind of DLC 2, although it wasn't thought to be initially, but it seems like that is the case now. So Outbreak, and it says here Operation Threshold, which takes place in the Ural Mountains from June to November of 1984. So Treyarch have said that bigger than any previous DLC 2 offering in Call of Duty Zombies to date, with 6 massive regions currently available, Outbreak delivers a brand new, large-scale zombies experience that can be explored with total freedom with up to 4 players. Loaded with new objectives, world events, side quests and in-game intel, and also 2 full-blown zombies main quests, Outbreak continues the Dark Ether story from the ending of Firebase Z to the narrative prologue of Mauer Toten. So as Requiem continued to fall behind in the arms race against Omega Group, following the events of Firebase Z, various regions in the Ural Mountains have erupted into the world's largest outbreak zone. Before Requiem even discovered this breakthrough, Omega Group was on the scene already, harvesting Ethereum in extreme numbers and in its purest form. Still, Requiem soldiered on to collect and investigate these new Ethereum crystal forms, in addition to an abundance of raw Ethereum crystals to bolster their technology, imbuing their weapons, perks, ammo mods and field upgrades with this incredible resource. This was all while their top agents fought scores of the undead and completed important research experiments in the field, hunting down incredibly dangerous high-value targets and helping to launch rockets and escort rovers into the Dark Ether for further testing. So this is just talking about the objectives and the intel collecting that we do throughout Outbreak. That's part of the main, aim on that mode, on that map. So continuing at the Outbreak story, we have Operatia Inversia, which is the first main quest we got on Outbreak. Again, this obviously takes place in the Ural Mountains, and it takes place on November the 16th, 1984. So within Operation Threshold, which is what we've just discussed, the normal objectives that you do on Outbreak, the most elite Requiem agents discovered Omega Group's plot known as Operatia Inversia. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but I might not be. aka Operation Inversion. So Dr. Peck was able to supercharge the power of Ethereum crystals for Omega Group's reality inversion warheads, making this astronomical leap in research and development with only one remaining eye, as the other was removed forcibly by Kravchenko at Outpost 25. So if you've completed the Firebase Z Easter egg, you'll see that Kravchenko gets a knife and he's basically threatening Peck, so he obviously ends up taking his eye out. Fortunately for Requiem, Ravenov was able to meet a squad of agents at the launch site deep below the forests of Ruka in a previously undiscovered missile silo to stop these warheads from creating additional outbreak zones. To do this, Requiem was faced with fending off a terrifying new super threat known as Legion. So this is referring to the first main quest, like I said, where we do a number of things. We contact Maxis, we then find Ravenov, and we stop the warheads being launched and do the boss fight to hopefully complete the Easter egg. Now continuing the Outbreak story further, we've got Operation Excision, which is the second main quest on Outbreak. This also, of course, takes place in the Ural Mountains on December the 14th, 1984. So even after ending Operatia Inversia with the help of Samantha Maxis, a changed person since her time spent in the Dark Ether, and Ravenov, who's now back in the field, the war with Omega Group is still far from over. Shortly after this successful mission, Requiem identifies 8 scientists within Omega Group who are willing to defect for their safety, known as the Omega 8. Requiem's top team of agents arrives after multiple jumps with a special device to contact Ravenov for more intel. But it's not in the cards for the team to come home, and the secret war between Omega Group and Requiem is far from over. The mission, known as Operation Excision, comes to a head at the sanatorium in the Ural Mountains, where the defecting scientists are supposedly waiting to be rescued. On arrival, the squad's objective drastically changes after finding the scientists' corpses, and an immediate exfil is called for once the strike team realises they've walked into an Omega trap. A massive firefight with an undead army ensues, including a towering order that emerges from the underground. As Raptor 1 picks up the strike team for evac, his helicopter is attacked and comes crashing down. So I've got in quotes here, "Sadly, Weaver," says a mocking voice talking into one of Requiem's radios, quote, "them coming home is not part of the plan," end quote. Walking through the rubble, an old enemy appears, Kravchenko, leader of the Omega Group. What can Kravchenko possibly have planned for Requiem? So we'll find all this out in Mauer Toten. But Treyarch say for now, you can experience all of Outbreak and, really start to understand and get up to date on the story by collecting intel and, of course, doing the Easter eggs. But yes, in a few days' time from when this video drops, we will have Mauer Toten, which will continue this story. So Treyarch have said the next chapter, referring to Mauer Toten, takes place in Berlin, Germany, on the 2nd of February 1985. So this story's been going on for almost a couple of years now. So the events of D Machina, Firebase Z and Outbreak have all led up to Mauer Toten, Treyarch's newest round-based zombies map, where captured Requiem agents will have to do Kravchenko's bidding in exchange for their freedom and their lives. Will you be ready to do anything it takes to survive? Before Mauer Toten launches on July the 15th, Treyarch recommend playing through all the Dark Ether Zombies experiences released so far, including Onslaught if you're on PlayStation, to collect all the intel and be as up to date as possible on what's going on. I've explained it briefly in this video based on what Treyarch have posted on their blog, but there is a lot more to it, and there's a lot more details that you can gather through collecting intel and actually experiencing the Easter eggs for yourself. So I'd recommend doing that. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like this in future to give you a quick update on what's going on with the zombie story, then be sure to drop a comment down below. Like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in a future video.